What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the stream. Thank you so much for joining me today. And this is the trying to build $1 million business. I don't know, what is this thing called? Does it even have a name? I don't know. But that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to build a business that is worth $1 million, or more precisely, a business that brings in $1 million worth of revenue every single year. So that's what we're working to build on this stream. And who knows how long this process is going to take? Maybe it's going to take 6 months. Maybe it's going to take 6 years. I don't know. But we're going to take it one day at a time. And today what we're doing is we're moving forward and we're going back to designing our website. So we've been doing this for 3 days now in Webflow. We've been designing the framework of our website. And this is the website where we're going to use to generate all of our business from. This is basically our forward-facing brochure where we're going to, take it out to the world, and it's going to be people's kind of first introduction to Pixel Media and what it is that we do as a company and what, products and services that we offer. So it's important to have something that is really good, something that we're proud of, and something that showcases our work and the value that we provide. So that's what we're building. And this is day 4. So I think this is kind of like part 4 of this little mini series, I guess you can say, within, hoping to get this done by tomorrow. But we're just going to jump right into this because I have a class today, what is it called? It's financial fundamentals class that I'm taking with like an amazing accountant that is based here in Halifax. She's amazing. And yeah, so I have that class at 5:30 Atlantic. So we have a little bit less than 2 hours to work today. So let's get going. Let's get started. And where were we? So what we have is we have 4 pages done out of 6 pages. We have our home page. We have our contact page. We have our journal page. And then we have our work page. And these kind of showcases the work that we do. And you might be thinking, wow, this looks like crap. You're right. What we're doing right now is we're just doing, it's basically like doing the HTML. We're just laying out the structure and the content of the website. And then once we get that structure finalized, then we're going to move on to actually designing it and making it look really good. Sometimes I'll do this kind of at the same time, depending. But usually if I'll have like a mock-up, something that's done in Photoshop or in Figma or something like that, where I have like the exact design laid out, then I'll kind of do both at the same time. But for this website, number one, I want to make sure that everything is done really, really well. So that way, when there's any updates in the future, things are very easy to work with, like making sure our components and all of our elements are just really make sense for what this website is and what it needs to do. So we are going to, I think what we're going to do is we have 2 more pages. We have our, what pages do we have? I can't think of this. Let me bring this. Oh, let me close this. I don't need this anymore. Anything else that's open that doesn't need to be? No, I think we're good. Here again is our list of pages. Ooh, a little bit too big. So yeah, we did the home page. Oh, and we did the work page. So our services and our processes, those are the 2 pages that we need to finish. And we also need to figure out what an internal work page looks, and we need to figure out what the journal page it looks like. Actually, we don't need to figure out. We know what it needs to look like. We just need to build it. So let's work on the internal journal page. Let me make this a little bit smaller so I can see other things here that are a little bit more important. Perfect. Okay. So on the work page, or the journal page, it's actually within Webflow, you have these things called, your database is called a collections. It's CMS. I'm not sure what the CMS stands for. CMS Webflow. Oh, maybe it's just content management system. Probably what it means. Anyways, if you want to learn more about it, you can they have a great course here. There are videos here that Webflow does to explain their stuff is phenomenal. They have really great characters, really great personalities, and they make it kind of fun and they make it easy to learn what it is that they do. So kudos to Webflow. One of the reasons why I really like them is because their documentation and that the way they convey information and teach is just like, it's just amazing. Something to model For sure. Absolutely. Okay. So where was I going with this? The CMS, so your content management system, these are templates. So these are based on journals. So within the CMS, we have these different, basically, I think of them as like tables of data. And these are tables for our journals. So every journal, when you create a new journal, has a bunch of different settings or fields. And these are the different fields that a journal has, which basically think of like a blog post, right? It has a title, has a thumbnail, it has an author, has a short description, it has the actual content and feature. There could be other things too that you can have to post. Whatever you can think of, you can kind of create it custom to whatever it is that you want. But I'm just going with the bare bones right now. And also one thing that this is missing actually, and we're going to put it in here, is going to be, so this is a category. So, right, it's going to need a category, which I think was why I did this. So, but I just didn't link it. Okay, so every post needs a category, right? So we're going to link. Should it be able to be in one category or multiple categories? I think one. So category, and we're going to reference the categories and save it. Maybe before the author or after. Save that collection. Perfect. So let's just go in here. How to make $1 million. So that category is probably finance. Do I have a finance one? I don't. Let's just call it branding then. Oh, what's going on here? Somebody wants to get in the house. Sorry, just a buzzer. If you do hear any external noises today, it's just because there's a bunch of kids in the house. We got some play date going on, so hopefully the noise doesn't come through. But if it does, then my apologies. We're just gonna have to deal with it. All right. So I'm just picking dummy categories here. Like it doesn't really matter here because this is obviously dummy content. And there we go. Because I think what I did is I linked each case study had a specific service. Yeah, it does. Okay, perfect. Makes perfect sense. My thought process made sense when I was working on this. Always thinking. Okay. So, journal template. Let me get my little, or not my little, just my sheets where I laid out my wireframes, where I laid out what a blog post is going to look like. Here we go. So this is what we have. Let me see if we give the overhead shot. I don't know what's going on with this thing. I had my whole screen to be like it was rounded corners, and now it's not rounded corners. I don't know why. That's really frustrating. Anyway, so this is what we have. Very simple. We have our logo here, navigation, center aligned title, along with the avatar for the author, and then the date of the post. This is the little intro, the description, and then here's the actual, just the content. And here is just an example, like pull quotes. We're going to pull that out and make quotes look a little bit different. And then maybe like a read more section where we can bring in, just maybe 3 more random ones from the same category. I'm not sure. We can figure out exactly what we're going to want to showcase there. But that's what we want. That's what we're going to do. Super simple. Well, maybe not super simple, but we're going to get it done. So what are we going to do? Let's go. Want to copy and paste things. You know what I'd like to do? I'd just like to take a little screen grab and just post this here. I'm just going to set this aside just so I can look, so I can just copy the structure. Because I don't want to copy every single thing and then just delete stuff. So let's go here. Create a wrapper. And then that's a container. And then inside that, we have another container called inside container. I'm still not sure about this whole structure. This might change, but I think it'll provide me some flexibility in the future, depending on what I want to do. Okay, so let's go back here. And I want to take the header and copy that in. Okay, and then, oh my goodness, these kids are so loud. I wonder if it's going to come through. I think we'll be okay. It seems pretty low. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw on some music. Just because at least it'll help me not hear so much. Get some stuff going into my ears. All right. Okay, so here we want, here's basically the article, right? Do we want it in like a container like this? Put that as an article. I feel like that music might be too loud for you guys. Let's turn that down. So what I'll do, I'll turn that down for you guys, but I'll turn it up. And I'll turn that up for me, so that should help. Okay. Right, so that's the article container, and then we have a heading. H1, and that heading is going to be the title of the podcast of the post. I think what we want in the article. So here's the thing. So the article we're going to want to have, I could even show this here on the overhead with what we have. So we want the article, well, let's just say, to be a specific width, right? So say that's 800 pixels, but we then want the pull quotes to be able to pull out from there. So, but that quote is obviously within the article itself. So we want to be able to have it so that everything on the inside here remains within this width, but that the quote has the ability to expand beyond this boundary that we set here. So how are we going to do that? So I think what we're going to have to do, so actual quotes, they're not going to be like, they're not separate from, let me keep it here. They're not separate from the actual text, right? The text is all going to be within this rich text element that is, I'm just hearing the music a little too loud in my ears. Okay. So the rich text content is all within one element, and that is like the rich text element. So that's where you basically put in all of your content of the whole article. And quotes are within that. So we're going to have to, on the quote level, I do believe, get that structure down. So like this quote, this rich text element is going to have to be, the 800 pixels to go the full width. But then everything inside that, whether it's a paragraph tag or a list tag or whatever else is you can put in here, like headings as well, all of those need to be, set to like 80% the total width, and then the quote itself is at 100%. Anyways, we'll figure that out later. But the point is that it's going to have to be on this element where we focus on making that smaller as opposed to this whole thing. Because these are separate elements. Okay, so what we're gonna have to do, we're going to, okay, here's what, let's just do it while we work through this. Okay. So, right. So I think what we're going to do, this right here is going to be the full article and then the container. Because why do we want to do that? Because we want right. Let me think. No, I don't think we need a containing element like that. Okay, so we know this one. We want this one to be, what's the header? Width is 100% sure. Max width is 1,000 pixels. So let's say we want our article to be a max width of, so let's say we're 100%, but we want, say we want 800 pixels. And we definitely want to center it. So let's set its margins to auto. So that's going to be the full width of everything, or of everything that's within here. And so let me create this new thing. This is article meta. So that's going to be image. So get the alt text is going to be the author's name, and the image is going to be their avatar. All right, and this is the avatar. And let's say, right, are we going to want to, yeah. We're going to want to put that actually inside. No, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is right. We want to set the image as a background to a div container. That way we can change the size without altering the actual, the image itself, where we don't have to worry about the size that the image is uploaded, right? You can use any image for their avatar, but if we want to constrain it to 50 pixels by 50 pixels, then that's fine, and we'll just center everything within there instead of having to worry about what size the actual image is. So let's get the background image. No, that's the color. Background image. That's going to be the profile picture. And then when we go to settings, you can see that it's doing this weird tiling thing. We don't want that, so we want it to cover. We want to cover it in the middle and no tiling. So let's limit this to, let's just say 50 pixels by 50 pixels. There we go. We got a nice little avatar. I feel like it'd be cool to come up with different numbers, almost like hockey numbers. I don't know who has 57. That's a stupid number for a hockey jersey. Let's just put it at 50. Who wears number 50? This is the Brango NHL jersey number 57. Greatest NHL players for each jersey number. David Perron. Huh. Interesting. All right. It's enough procrastinating. Get to work. And let's get a border radius on this thing. Let's get the border radius be the same as... Oh, why isn't it... Are these not linked? There we go. And then what other metadata? We want the author's name. So article author. And that is going to be the name of the author. And no, not a div, a text. Article publication date. All right, published on. Format. Yeah, that's fine. We'll keep it standard. And there's no date here because it hasn't been published, which will make it a little hard to style. That's okay. But something you can do, if you're running into that problem and you don't want to publish your website, you can just go like this and just go and then just make up a date. Well, what day is it today? Right, and then that's how it would like if there was a date present, because it's got the same class name. What is this? Oh, the container. Okay. So much like this, we want this, everything centered here. And I think if we just center align the text right, everything is going to be aligned except for the image. So we need, do we need, that's not going to help with the image itself. How do we get this aligned? Or do we have to, I mean, if we display it like this, no. Yes, reset that. Okay, but does that need this? Okay, so we're just aligning that. Okay. And then we just align everything else inside. Okay, I think that works. The other potential way to do this could be to display this whole thing as flex, stack everything horizontally, or horizontally, the opposite horizontally, vertically. We stack this vertically, and then, yeah. I think that's cleaner. Right, okay, I like that. And then another, should this be in a, I don't know if this should be in its own div or not, because basically I want the short description. And this short description is, yeah, we'll put it in a block because, here, you'll see. Well, yeah. Yes. Here's why. So article, I don't know. Okay, yeah. So we want So this is basically going to be like a smaller column. So So I'm trying to think now. I'm trying to think of something that could be reused. Here's another thing too. I'm just thinking now. When you're building a website and you're trying to think of like, oh, maybe I can break this down to like reusable components. The question to ask yourself as well too, and then I'm asking myself right now, is that even going to be necessary? Am I going to reuse this piece anywhere else on the website? And the answer, I think, is maybe. I think it might be used on the portfolio page to thin out a column. So I think, and I want that consistent. So I want to do, I think I'll just call it like small column. Or small container. It's not, well, I guess it is a container. Just trying to give it a good class name. Again, you could call, and you could, there's no limit to what class names. You could call this like A, B, C, D, E, F, G if you wanted to. But it helps for descriptive purposes to figure out where else to deploy it within your website, right? So you want to use descriptions that kind of make sense, or names that make sense. So just maybe internal, small column, something like that. And this here is the article, just like intro. So internal small column, again, one full width of its, full width of its parent container, which in this case, it's going to be this article. But we want this one to be smaller, and I'm going to say 600 pixels. And again, auto here. And you know what I'm thinking is, I think it would be cool. Well, will it be cool? Like if this as well is smaller, and then the text. No, I don't like that. Change plans. One sec. Oh, someone else is coming in. Okay. I think, you know what? Sorry, I'm just thinking about what I think is going to look best here. Let's just see this here. Yeah. So here's the rich text element. Now, we're gonna need a combo class there. Actually, rich text, and then I'm going to turn this into, actually I won't be able to. All right, let's make a quote. All right. I want to make sure that okay. You know, another way. All right, let's see. All block quotes that are nested in here. I mean, we could, instead of worrying about having different margins for all kinds of different things, we could maybe, can we do this? Yeah. We can just give this thing negative margins to pop it out. Yeah, that's going to be the easiest way to go. Yeah, we'll do that as opposed to trying to get super freaking fancy with all this stuff. So, then with that being said, I think this is way too wide. I like that. Then we don't need this thing either. I'm just exaggerating this just so I can see. Right. If we do this, is that gonna do it for everything? Yes, it is. If I put this into here, it's not center lining it. But why not? Everything is displayed. Or maybe it is because, well, is there a small title? Let me just, which one is how to increase? Yeah. Right, it is centered. We just can't see it. But it didn't, it's centered, but it's not, is it justified? It's not, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say here? So like this text, the element itself is centered, but we don't need just that. We need the actual text itself to be, basically like this, right? Oops. I could just do this here, right? Because I want the whole text centered. So that's what I want. So we're going to have to, I didn't want to do any of this kind of styling just quite yet, but that's okay. So that's a heading. We're just going to, you know what? We'll just apply a class of centered to do that. I want to be as generic as possible because if I want to center other headings, I don't want to use a class that's called, journal heading. And then, then you have a journal heading on the process page just because you want it centered. And it's really weird. Or then you start doing different classes for other that do the same function, like for centering something. So you want to be as generic as possible when it's almost like a modifier to an element. And usually when you're writing CSS, you can code things in a way that people can understand that they're modifiers. So they'll use like double dashes or something. Anyways, that's not really what this is about here. That's neither here nor there. I'm not sure what the saying is. Anyways, okay. So we have this. So I mean, really, this is it. I know what you're thinking. Again, it looks like ass, and it kind of does. I think what I want in between here, I want this to be a little bit of a divider. I want it to be width, 100%, just 1 pixel. Just as of a nice background color. I don't know what's going to be yet, but right now we'll just make it black so you can see it, so we know what's there. And maybe we can have that be like a kind of cool, like a scribble, like a hand, line or whatever, because we can put, it could be a background, right? You can put any background image as that, although that's on the inside container. We don't want to do that. We want to do that on this divider, right? So if we put a background to it like this, you should be able to see that color. Yeah. But of course, it's only on the top, so it's just that gray color. So we can do lots of different things, and we'll do that later. So I like this quote coming out here, but it's coming out like way too much. I think we hold Shift. No, we hold Alt to do both sides at the same time. Something like that. Okay. But what we want to do here, let's bring in the rich text from the journal post. And is there nothing there in this one? There's nothing? Oh, it's empty. Oh, it is empty. Huh. Yeah, I didn't do anything. Oh, this is being finicky now. Okay. Did we do the footer on the homepage? We did. So once this is good. Oh, you know what we haven't done? This is what I should have done. Instead of copying the header, We're going to put that into a symbol. Same thing with the navigation. Or with the navigation and the footer. We should probably do that sooner rather than later. Let me just go here first. Okay, so do we want like a read more? Yeah. Or do we want like a next and previous? Excuse me. I'm trying to think if something like this is necessary, or if we just want to go previous or next. You know, like read more, and here's like 3 of them. So do we want to be able to feature articles that are going to be in like the read more section? Or do we just want to allow people to go through time? Let's see how. Let's see. Oh, these are all old. Yeah. No, these guys, of course they do. Let me see. Can I see what this looks like? Check previous and next from this list. Also, I guess if I go into here. No. Oh, that's right here at the top. Okay, right. So this is like I'm on this item, the American Museum. This would be the previous. This is the next post. So next is the Vatican. Next is this one. Yeah, I think that'll work nicely. So let's see. Okay, so let's follow these steps. So let's copy this script and let's put this into, yeah, because I'm pretty sure, I know within Webflow, I mean, if you're on just any page, you can have all of your collection items and then have your navigation like next and previous for like having the whole list. But once you're within an actual item, I'm not sure if they have that built in natively. Yeah, I don't think that they do. Okay, so what do we need to do? Let's go to, all right, let's put that code in there. A little bit of JavaScript. And this is, all right. Apply attributes to elements on page. Okay. Okay, so we're going to need to actually bring in, we're going to have to bring in this collection for it to be able to generate on that collection. Okay, makes sense. So, no, we do that. Oh my goodness, there's a Nerf gun war going on outside. Sorry if it's loud. It's a little bit tricky to concentrate. Oh God, what am I doing? Okay, so no. Why is it being stupid? Oh, I hate it when this happens. Let me refresh this. Optimizing for IE6. Oh, those were the golden days of web design when Internet Explorer was really bad and all the different browsers would render the different codes differently. Yeah, it was like a nightmare. Oh man, the web has come a long way. Oh, is it not? Am I using the wrong shortcut code? Or maybe, what the heck is going on? I don't want Teams. Or is it Alt? There's a shortcut code to bring up like the dialog box where you can pick like what you want to add, right? Like I want to add this, but I want the shortcut key. I thought it was Windows key E. No. Or is it Control? Yeah, it's Control E. Oh my goodness. Collection. Okay, let's bring in the collection. And this is going to be a collection of journal articles. Okay, and we need to add these attributes to it. And we need to add it to the list, not to the item itself. So attributes are going to be on this gear icon. And right here under custom attributes, I think we paste that value. And then we also paste this in there as well. Okay. And then right. Okay. So we want something to be previous, something to be next. Okay. So then we're going to have to go, let's throw this in here. And let's go. So previous and next. So we're just going to previous article and then next article. Pretty standard stuff here. And where do we want? So again, let's go into settings, custom attributes. And what's the value? Is the value list? Is it the same thing? Oh, yeah, it's previous. Makes sense. And then this one is probably going, stop. What the heck? Why are you not allowing me to click in here? Not sure what's going on there. It's weird. Okay. Let's go back here. Custom. There we go. Probably next. Let's just confirm that. Yep. And this is cool. We can have something for like if it's empty, which is kind of cool. So is that it? That should be it. That should just work. And Right. So in order to check if that works, we're going to need to publish this. And we're going to have to publish this on this site here, which is kind of a custom site that that Webflow makes for you. Okay, so is this going to work? So nothing's working here yet. So do we need to actually link it with something? Okay, let's read. Let's read a little bit. Okay. So generate the previous next content. There must be a URL linked to the template page. Okay. See the screenshot. Well, I don't see that this is a link. Is there a way? Oh, okay. Yeah, you throw it in the list. Right. Does it have to be within the collection? No, I don't think it does. Because if I have, yeah, let me see if I can clone this thing. Oh. All right, let's see how they have this done here. There's no other pages. Watch how to build the solution now. What is it actually on? Maybe I can see. Is there a link? Oh. All right. Let's see if we can see the video.
Welcome to a walkthrough of CMS previous, and you'll see from this list, we're able to check we have our environment corp, and we have our previous corporate caterpillar and our next food palace exactly as intended. So that's what we're going. Let's start this implementation and see what we need to do next. We're in the attributes docs, CMS previous next. Let's go into step one, head of this page. We're on the template page, so we need it on the template page. And here we implement in Webflow, we're going with this list element, the one we were just talking about, which will populate the items in our previous and our next side. We have a attribute FSCMS prev next element. We'll copy that, and it's going to get a value of list. We're going to go back to this. There's a very important step in this description. But let's start with this attribute. We'll go and click on the list. I am in here going to paste and do list. There we go. That's not all we have to do for a list. There's a very important step, labeled important, and it is to have a URL link to the current template page. We need some way to know this item in this list is the page that we're on now.
Right.
It's going to give us the base for what the previous is and what the next
Makes
is.
sense.
So let's go and do that. We're going to go and add a text link. And for now, let's call this text link something that we understand. That's going to be...
Oh, is it like the stuff that's in here is going to generate what's going to be displaying inside here? Interesting. So, yeah, we want the link to be the current page. And then the title. Right, so those are the links. Does that fix everything? Not yet. Not yet.
Required current page. This is required only to understand the current page. And you'll see that I'm choosing this dynamic page button here with current client. And we don't need this visible either. We're going to keep it visible for now, but it does not need to be visible on the page. It just needs to be inside the item. So what this is doing behind the scenes is it's going to the current page, environment corp. It's going to find it in the list, and then it's going to say this one's the previous and this one is the next. So now let's define our divs to say this is where the previous should go and this is where the next should go. We have our div block waiting for us. Let's go create a little bit of a UI. And let's see what we have to work with first. Let's close this up and we'll do, I want this div block to hold the previous item in the list. I want this div block to hold the next item in the list. And then a bit more flexibility. I want this div block, text element, button, link block, or text link to be the empty state of the previous item.
Right,
And
I think it needs to
for
have
the
some
next item.
content in there.
So we'll start with the div blocks here. We have fs, cms, prev, next element. We have previous, and then this one's going to be next. Great. Let's start to build our UI. I'm going to start with a component name of fs prev next. I'll go copy this so that when I go create more items inside this UI, I can say organized and quickly come up with these structured names. So we have the fs prev next. Let's call this the row. Let's give a little bit of a grid style to it, create some size. This is now going to separate our previous side and our next side. We'll keep all of our previous info in one side, all of our next info in the other side. And let's start with a div to separate the two sides. And we'll call this next. Let's say what we have over here. This is going to be the previous post, let's call it. And the other one will say the next post. Let's go and add a div here. And this will be insert post. This is where we are officially going to insert our previous post. Let's give this a 1 rem on margin top. And let's actually create another one of these for our empty state. But this one, we will give an add-on to is empty state. Now, both of these have the same class. Classes don't matter in attributes, but now I can style these together if I want to. Or if I want to just style this one, I have the nice combo class for this style. And that's exactly what I'll do. Let's put some type of a message in here to tell this entire. Let's also lead them back to the home page, let's say. Let's say back to all posts. There's nothing there. We want to give them some way to get back to the action. There we go. Let's add some size here to copy this.
Okay,
and let's go to the docs. And we already looked at this, but let's just refresh here. fs cms prev next element previous. Let's go and do that to our empty div. I'm going to go in here to previous. And let's do the same thing for the next here. Element next. Great. Now let's add the empty ones to the empty. Next, let's get this final ready. We may not even have to come back in Designer here. We're good. We have our current page. We have our list attribute. We have the script. We have our placements here. Let's go publish this. I think we're ready. And as this publishes, we should see a loaded page with no list on the bottom and our previous and next post. And let's actually check this so we know what to look for. We have our freelancer house. We should be expecting a food palace and environment corp. Food palace and environment corp. Let's check it out. And give me a food palace, give me an environment corp. That is correct. We have our previous post, we have our next post.
So
Let's confirm here that we do not need these visible. Remember, this has to be there, but it does not need to be visible. Same thing with this. Let's go hide it. Anything else that we need to check? I don't think so. Oh, let's check our next state. So I'll give this a post, a publish, and we're going to navigate to that last post to see if we have a correct empty state. Back on here, the freelance.
So I think from my understanding is what it's doing is it's taking the styling of this collection and it's injecting it inside of these div tags here. So why does it seem to be not be working? I don't know. So let's just roll with an example that he was giving there. So we're going to make this really small. So I have it as the attribute. Does it have to be empty maybe? Which would be kind of weird, but... Oh, why does this not have attributes? Oh, maybe... Oh, God. Are you kidding me? Could that be as simple as not having this thing enter correctly? Yeah, because it doesn't have one. You guys saw me do this, right? That's probably why. Sometimes, yeah, this sometimes is the problem with Webflow. I don't know. It's really weird. Now that should work. Now this should take this stuff and inject it into there. Right, there we go. So, yeah, and there's a previous next 5 reasons why. Small title. Oh, which one's which? Which one's which way? Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, stupid. I didn't have to watch the video. But it's cool. Those guys are amazing. The stuff that these guys do are ridiculously amazing. So what ended up happening is... when I added these custom attributes in here, it didn't save properly so that they weren't put in here. So and these custom attributes are needed in order for whatever, the JavaScript. What it does is it takes it. It says it needs to have this link here so that it knows what page it's currently on, right? Which is this page here, the 5 reasons why. 5 reasons why. This is why it has to be present here so that it knows, and then it'll go. And the code will be like, okay, we'll get the post before, get the post after, and then stick them into these identifiable elements, which you've identified as the previous and the next. That's what the code does. So, which is really, really sweet. And that saves a whole lot of time. So I don't have to write anything completely custom to do that, right? So that's sick. And so what we can do here is in these posts, we can customize this as we want to, and because that's what the next and previous is going to look like, right? That's how it's going to be styled. So how do I want them to look like right now? I don't know, but what I do know is that we're going to call this, what am I going to call that? Just like, it's like CMS navigation. Yeah, that makes sense, I think. And then we want previous and next, but we want them to each go completely. Oh, right, this is nested inside. That's not going to look nice. There we go. So you have your previous on this side and then your next on this side. And so what we can do here, we can add, yeah, we'll just do the text block. And like it was before, previous post. Let's just copy that. article actually. Right, and then if we publish this one, there we go. So small, 5 reasons why. So how exactly is it publishing? Oh, we don't even have. Oh, we do have a date published. They're all published at the same time. Can we change that? No. So I don't know what order these are in to know, but I'm hoping that the previous article will be, which one do we want first? I think we want the next article to be on the left, right? Because you're reading, okay, I want to go next. Previous is like, no, it's always forward and back, right? Right, it's always like this. I think that's the proper UI. Forward is on the right, next is on the left, or back is on the left. Right. Okay. So we have that. And this whole thing, I think if it was just hidden, can we do that? That might help us, and it should still work even though that's hidden. I hope. Let's find out. Yeah, it still works. Cool. And then we could also we need to do that hidden as well too. Yeah, previous empty. Let's do that. And this is previous empty. Or actually, I know. We'll rename this not previous, but navigation empty. And previous empty, is that what it was? I think it was this one. Yeah, previous empty. I think I got that right. And then we will go to this one here and say next empty. And this, oh yeah, no, it's still here. This we're going to have also navigation empty. And then let's just go here. No, copy this. And let's just say nothing here. Publish. It's still saying nothing here, even though there's something here. So that suggests to me that I did something wrong. And of course, this value got all messed up. And it didn't save. There we go. Let's try that. Refresh that. There we go. So let's go previous. Previous. Nothing there. Previous or next. Nothing here. Cool. So that's nice. And now we got 2 dates because we did publish something, but I'm going to unpublish it. Yeah. Do I need to refresh, or is it still going to remain? So if I because if I do this, yeah, it's 404, but it's still saying it's published. I guess because it did get published at one point, it's still going to show up, which is fine. Let's just delete that. Okay. Ooh, loud. Okay, what do we got? We got about half an hour left. We're still not quite where I want to be. So the question is do I take the time to fix this right now or fix this later? Well, number one. But I also want this to be within the boundaries here, which makes sense to me. Or do I want it out a little bit? Oh. Or do we want it like in the footer kind of area? I don't know. No, I think it's nice here. I think it works well here. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do, or what we're going to do, is we're going to go to the footer area here, and we're going to turn this into a symbol. Just call it footer. Easy enough. And then let's go to other pages. Yeah, so we can just delete that and throw on our footer. Get rid of that. And this way, you know, whenever you make a change to the footer, then it's going to be everywhere, right? It's going to change everywhere, not just on that page. So, Control E, footer. And we're going to do the exact same thing with the header. All right, and our header, or maybe is that all I put in the header? Is the navigation? Looks like I did. But why is this not centered? Oh, right. We have this stupid issue again. And what did... Oh. I totally can't remember what the hell we did to figure out what was causing this. So something with the... something to do with the... like the pseudo elements. Oh my goodness. Well, we'll certainly have to figure that out. Either that or I just create my own custom navigation at some point. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, all right, so let's go. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why I didn't do this before. It was weird. Probably because I was having issues with the navigation. It was kind of throwing me off. It's still throwing me off. I don't know what the hell is caused. Why it has to be like that. Because that navigation, this navigation is like a custom, like it's pre-built within Webflow, like it's a Webflow element. So there seems like there's something in the back end that's there that is just not making sense to me. And I don't know how to work around it right now. Okay. So I think that's every page. Okay. All right. So what should we do now? I don't want to get into another page just quite yet because I don't quite have the time. Well, actually, nah, I'm not too sure. So I do need to take a little bit of time in between just to have a little bit of supper. So what should we do? Maybe let's take a look at this previous and next and what we're going to want to have. So let's unhide this for now. And let's make some really nice previous and next buttons. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so we're gonna call this is it CMS nav item? So what we're going to do with this one, we're going to get that background again. And once again, we'll give that 100% width, but we're going to give the height. Not much, like 150 pixels. In fact, what size do we want? I guess we could make them on these, these previous and next. Oh, hang on. Let's CMS. That's just the button. You want these things to be the same, and we're going to give them a width of 200 pixels. So that way, when this stuff goes in, it's going to be 100%, 200 pixels by 150 for the image. And again, let's go into the images. We want them to be covered, centered, and no tiling. And and delete this one. And you know what? I want this to be in the link. What do we need to display? Does it need to be like this to display? Yes, we want it to be a block. But let's just rename that CMS nav item link. Delete that link. And of course, we need to tell this link where to go. That's the current page. And then, somebody here again. Okay. And where am I? I totally got distracted. Okay, yeah, we're putting in the title. So CMS nav item title. All right, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, so all the images are the same size. Too big, too small. Oh my goodness, this is it's funny because you go from this, because this is blown up 1.25 and this is like just a regular size, and it's like, it's so small. So this is probably, I'll probably have to do like a reset into thinking of the sizes again once we do the design stuff. That's where all this will come into play. But I think this is all I want. I mean, this is fine. Next, and then the title. Yeah, that's fine. I wonder, do we want it aligned even? Nah. Most titles are going to be longer than this 200 pixels anyways. Yeah. No, I think we're cool. And then we need something here. Oh. So previous goes back to the oldest ones, right? So it should be something like you've gone back to the beginning. Click here to get back. To get back home. Something like, oh, there's no. So like, you're on the latest article. Click here to. You don't even need to bring them anywhere. Or should it just be blank? Like, do you need to be so specific? You don't have to, right? Like, kind of like the previous one where you're talking about like, oh, well. John. So you're on the latest article. Oh, I have an idea. This could be like a little bit of a like call to action. You're on the latest article. But if you want to be the first to know when we post a new one, click here to sign up for our awesome newsletter. If I can spell. All right. most recent posts. Something like that. Whoop. You've gone back to the beginning of our journal. Click here to get back home to see our most recent articles. And that, I mean, click here. And what I mean by where that's going to take you, that's going to take whoever to just the homepage of the journal, right? Yeah. And then when we get an actual newsletter link, we'll add that. Yeah. Anything else? Anything else I'm missing for here? Other than, again, it's styled and looks like crap. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Super tired. Super tired. Okay. So, didn't get as much done today as we wanted to, but I think this is a good place to stop because I don't want to get too into these other two pages, these two last pages, the process page and the services page. Just because I need to take some break and stretch and all that good stuff. And have a little bit of something to eat before my 4-hour sit down class tonight. So yeah, we're gonna leave it at this. We're gonna leave it here. Yeah, something's bugging me. I'm not quite sure what it is, but something's bugging me. So I'm gonna have to sleep on it and think about what it is that is bugging me. I can't put my finger on it quite just yet. It's something. Anyways, we'll figure it out. We'll think about it. Sometimes I find it's really good that if I am feeling that there's something that is just bothering me on a project or whatever it is that I'm designing, to just take a step back, take a minute, think about something completely different, and then come back to it the next day with kind of a fresh set of eyes. And maybe that your opinions or whatever will kind of change, or things will settle down. You know, some ideas you've had of how you wanted the website to look and how you want the structure to be, maybe that'll change, or you'll have some ideas that will make things a little bit better. So that's what we'll do. So this is a really good time to take a break. So with that being said, we're going to end it here for today's stream. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you watching these videos. I hope you get something out of it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So have yourself a great day, a great night, great morning, whatever or whenever it is that you're watching this. I hope you're doing really well, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow for another live stream. All right, take it easy.